this enough? Like 30?
Yeah. 20 meals.
We could just do that.
This is 10.
10 per.
My name is Angel. My political leaning, leftist. I would say identify with like anarcho-communism. It's an anti-capitalist, pro-worker, pro-union, pro-autonomy like belief system. I feel like it ends up being more pro-black and pro-indigenous, since historically, like when there's a power structure put in place, black and indigenous people end up at the bottom of it. Definitely like early on in my life, my dad influenced my political views. He was like a very radical person in like the 60s and the 70s. My first time protesting was so violent. We were like separated by riot police. They cut our crowd. They drove motorcycles through our crowd. They threw these things that they're like warnings before tear gas, but they're honestly like really terrifying because they just make these really loud noise. As time went on, like I got more and more involved. I became an organizer not just for protests, but for community programs. Right now, me, my friend Jay, my friend Brian, we all work together to feed the houseless every week. No matter who wins, it's just gonna be a thing of like, you know, who is more outwardly racist domestically.
So then how do we feel in regards to when it comes to trans shit? In regard for us, we understand both of them are trash, but at least one is
Cares about like
a little bit less. Kamala's trash, but Trump objectively intends to remove as much as he possibly can for trans folks. So I may not support.
Typically I stay away from like news, like mainstream media in general. I do read the news. I'll read from like multiple sources. I really actually like sometimes when I have a lot of time on my hands to like read the same story by like a news outlet that's like pretty neutral, like a local source, and then like CNN and Fox News, because the way they both spin stories is so funny.
In response to the unprecedented crises we face, we need an unprecedented response, a movement like never before.
I mean, I would settle for Bernie Sanders because Bernie Sanders, I think, has a good record. I'm not really emotional when it comes to politics because it's just like, I don't care if I can get a beer with an old white man. I don't care if Kamala Harris likes the same music as me. Like if I picked candidate by which one had a better personality, I'd pick Donald Trump because he's funny. Especially Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are the absolute worst ticket because you have the man that wrote the crime bill and the California DA. Like, I don't want a cop in office. Someone as recently as Ferguson was gassing protesters and sending out military police. Someone like Kamala Harris who rejected having body cams on officers in California, had a chance to be one of the first states in the country to implement body cameras and did everything that she could to fight it, who fought to keep people who were wrongfully convicted on death row on technicalities. These are not people that I trust or want in office. I will be voting, unfortunately. I think that the past few months, like the discourse has been very toxic around voting and has involved a lot of shaming of specifically like Black and Indigenous people and people of color who like really just do not have the same access to voting that like middle class white Americans do. When Black people are like, I feel like my vote doesn't matter, like why would you turn around and shame them and be like, your vote does matter? Like, oh my God, if more of you voted, then your vote would matter more. No, if more of us voted, then there'd be more votes in our county, or maybe not even our county, maybe just our district, where they have purposely redlined neighborhoods and then gerrymandered so that all of our votes count as one district. I feel like the DNC can keep getting away with pushing these like milquetoast moderates because they're like, well, you know, the other choice is like so bad, so like let us keep our status quo and we promise to like murder you guys less.